disaster with water rising first in the Bellefield division in content. The water, from the history of it, is not the first time it rose in 1977, contrary to popular demand or belief. It rose before that, but those weren't on record. Our record, we kept this. But the first record was 1977, 2 persons died in 1977. It rose again in 2002, and I think it rose small again in about 2004, and it's now rising again. It is the first the water have reached this level. I came to this council last week to seek some help. And as I said, we don't get nobody from phone more than so. When I came to this council to seek some help, because I was trying to call the Water Resources Authority, no answer. So I came because I thought it was a ministry. It shouldn't say ministry. When I came here, I got a number and I called the ministry in Kingston with the help of Ms. Hepburn. I got to the CEO, Mr. Clark. Before that, I spoke to the geology unit because the UWI principal is a friend of mine, Dr. Delzy Williams. And he, within a matter of calling within hours, 1 hour after, 2 hours after, the geology unit at the UWI called me. And that is how I was able to kind of get an understanding. Because water now has covered basically most of the houses over there. It has never happened like that before. And you have next door, I reached out yesterday or 2 days ago to NWA parish coordinator. And the thing that irritates me the most, when I reach out to agencies for help or for people information, nobody know what to do. There's no protocol set, there's nothing happening, nobody is giving assistance, nobody is coming to say, councillor, we are aware of this. And I said to Mr. Clark from the Water Resources Authority, that I'm disheartened because it's on the news and read the article to hear so never measure the water now. Nobody came in and said to us whatever. Me have to go down there myself and move for the first 3 people with my personal
vehicle. You thought it was the MP? Because the MP said she would.
No, which MP? No, I was there and I called you, your worship, and you came on spot. I called Mr. Needham because I didn't know who else to call. Mr. Needham in 10 minutes. The superintendent in 10 minutes sent the fire truck. And we assessed it to say that it makes no sense for us to pump out the water. Because there's a sinkhole at the back there and the water goes back there. So I see even people dig a trench next door to say they're running out of water, it makes no sense. Because there's an underground unit of water there that if you dig it up and you put it, water is here and you put it over here, it goes back to the same place. The aquifer is over, it's full, and it is burning. So Chairman, when I reached out to NWA yesterday, they don't know what to do also. When I came to this council, when I take my vehicle and I come for the council here, I tried to call the soup and get the soup. We go up a parish council, we took up the barriers and we put a fine. And myself and the police called me for assistance and we go block Kirkvine and we block William C. And I said that I made a public plea, I made videos, I asked people not to go in the area. It is a festive place where sound down that play, jerk pan a jerk chicken, and people are sell rum and boom, and everybody wants to think and make it an exciting affair. When it started, I made a public plea to say persons do not come in contaminate with the water. There are graves there are old pits, there are old pit latrines and all of that. And people say, oh, the water pretty because it's green and nice and whatever the case is. The water, I got somebody to come and test the water, and immediately the test results show that the water is contaminated. It's a significant level. I sent the email to the CEO. So, Chairman, the geology unit was able to give me some information. The water resources was able to give me some information. But when I asked questions as to what is it, what's next, because everybody is just a wait and see. I have the superintendent, and maybe he has to have a team and other engineers ready. Because maybe when the water recedes, content road might have to go sink. What the geology unit said to me and you is that you may have a sinkhole in place just open up. So it's just a wait and see. And the people, they don't know what to do. People have left, but I want to make it public that persons have called me offering homes that the persons need to move. Luckily the persons there, 2 persons was in the shelter at content, which we made a makeshift shelter by our choice. To put the person's furniture there. Other persons came to Mandeville where their family came and got them and they're staying with family. But as to the protocols to how you deal with a matter like this, the relevant agency seems to be clueless. There's not much help coming, and I know it's something new, but and Chairman, I'm going to close by saying this. When I spoke to NWA, I said we're also in a wait and see matter because Chairman, the water is now rising next door, where your division meets Councillor Wilson's division. Water is rising in Porus and it is rising in Evergreen. But there people are also aware that the water is rising in front of the backside plant. old Kirkman block. That's your division where Councillor Wilson's division be. So when content is blocked, it's already been blocked for days. The other route that brings the people to the northern side of the parish of Christiana, Spaldings and wherever, when that route is blocked, that is an issue, and I call the NWA to ask, what is the plan? What is it that we're going to do? Are we going to send them through Davidstown up to Chantilly, which is, that road is not conducive because I drive through there to test the route myself. And my body and wherever the case is. There's not a plan in place. Nobody is speaking, nobody, and we're just asking questions and looking at the space. What is the plan that we have to ensure that when Kendall is blocked off, or when we have a sinkhole drop or whatever happen, or more water start rising? Water came out of Spur Tree last week Sunday. Water was sprayed like a waterfall. I went down with a team that I invited here to search for the other openings that normally happen down by Melrose. But there's no water normally rising content immediately, and it starts in porous immediately. It never starts in porous a week after. And we're trying to find out where the water normally would come up down by Melrose Young Park. So we have backside that has done damage to us for 50, 60 years, and has created a problem, but we can't solve at this moment. So I'm asking Chairman, my final point is to ask the relevant authorities to come to this council. Let us have a sit down with the relevant agencies so we can put some plans in place, because 6 weeks before hurricane, rain fell almost every day, and it is scheduled to fall over until December. The aquifers underground are full, they are full, and even the knockings that we hear underground, if you live in that area, you will hear knockings underground before the water started to come up. So, Chairman, I just ask that be done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman, one more final point I want to make. And I want Mr. Bellefield to be aware, we do not in this parish have proper road markings or signs or anything planned for that. There wasn't a sign, I couldn't find a sign to the council or to NWA to say detour, close, road close, nothing. And that is unacceptable. So I'm asking that this going to make some of those signs available that when we have disasters or accidents or whatever. Detour, stop signs, some of the signs that we can use temporarily to put at these locations. Because there was a truck accident in Content this morning. 5:30, a regular unit, a large trailer was there, moving and traveling at regular speed. And we started putting sandbags down in Content to kind of get the water from reaching Mr. Baker's house, who's a member of this council. A truck. And the sandbag stopping this morning at 5:30. He said never have no clue. I don't know how much about him live. I don't know if he listen to TikTok or news. He said never knows the water was right here. And we use the barriers that the council use from way out of the roundabout and way Kirkman, and people continue to move in every day. So they want to go there to go live and go take pictures.
Mario, sit down and chat if you can.
But let me just clear a few points and make it clear for the records, because no councillor has the authority to put anybody in the work. I'm not saying councillor Mitchell did. I just remind you. If there's an emergency in your division, the Parochial Roads Act speaks directly to how it is supposed to be reported. That you must contact the Chief Engineering Officer for his engagement. Because if you put personal work and they don't get paid, you can't blame anybody on this side. Because I'm not putting my signature on something that I don't know of. When you send to the CEO or whatever, they say they don't know nothing about it and they start talking to me, I have to be guided by what they say. Secondly, the barriers down there, I think we may have to look at where we put the barriers. Because when we put the barriers at the roundabout, there are other businesses and people that are not affected that has to get to where they live. We have to either permanently block off the place or do something. The water is not going to affect me, myself, and Wilson. It will affect myself and Northeast, because down that side is Northeast. When you pass the train line, you know when I get into John's Hall. But the water and content is affecting me because the other side of the road is the Royal Division. But we have to engage, NWA has to be engaged some more, because all of these roadways are their roadways that are being significantly impacted. And I don't hear nothing from none of them either, you know. I call and I hear, boy, we're monitoring. While we are monitoring, people's lives and properties are at risk. Say something to these people, because the people are hope renewed, hope restored. If you don't say something, they don't know what to do. And so, you know, we have to go call, when I finish here, I'm going to be calling on somebody at the end of the head office to speak to see what can happen. All I see from Works Agency, our Water Resources Authority, is that the water has risen 100 meters up from where the aquifer is. I was down there one day and I see persons from the JDF, Coast Guard, in the water doing some tests or doing some things. But I want to appeal to the persons who are going there. My understanding is that one man went in there and swim or whatever, one man takes the water. E. coli is in the water. Every single house or yard that is down there has a sewer pit or some pit. And if the aquifer is full and those pits are full, all of the feces and all of that is going to rise to the surface or somewhere in the water. It is dangerous for persons to walk in the water, taste the water, swim in the water, and I'm appealing. Because only thing that we'll do is we have cholera outbreak, we have dengue, we have all of that. We need to ask the Ministry of Health to farm the area. Because when it comes to 5 o'clock, we know it's now getting dark. Mosquitoes start to appear from all over the place. So, I mean, the agencies of government cannot be reacting, they have to be proactive. And that is the problem we have in this country. We are too reactive. We wait until things get out of hand completely and we try to solve the problem. So please, Mr. News Media, please write to them for us. Call, beg them on our behalf. They need to come in the parish because water is rising left, right, and center in the parish. And we don't have any sea here or rivers here. They're going to move from one area to the other until some months later before they receive. But people's lives have to go on. We're already impacted. Councillor.